What's up, martial art friends? How you guys doing? Last time we already talked about energy system. Today I want to go into something more applicable, and I'm talking about how to punch faster, how to create more damage, how to spar in the longer sessions. I'm talking about basic strength and conditioning. I'm gonna give you some general information, and then I also guide you how you can tailor make your program so that it fits you, so that it enhances the quality of your performance. You can fight better with this. EZ Wing Chun gonna show you the easiest way. Let's go. There are usually four ways that you can get adapted: either hypertrophy, strength, power, and endurance. Hypertrophy is just the growth of the muscle, so you make it bigger. Strength is just how strong are you, like how much weight can you lift in one bench press. Power is just how fast can you push that bench press. And endurance is how many times can you keep pushing that bench press. So why so important? Because you need these informations to tailor make your training. We all know that you train the way you fight and you fight the way you train. So you need to specify it. For example, if you're an endurance athlete, you run 10K every day, but now if you get put in the situations when you have to defend yourself, when you have to run away from a cool guy with a knife, right? You have to perform at your maximum effort in that 30 seconds. You're not gonna move that fast in that 30 seconds. Yes, you can spar 10 rounds, but in that 30 seconds, you're not at your best, right? So you want to change that. And then it also go the way around too. Let's say all you do is spin power, spin power, spin power. You got put in the situation where you have to spar 10 rounds. Good luck with that, because now you're gonna dead in the first 2 minutes. And then the rest, you become the living dummy back for the guy to punch you. You don't want that, right? So we have to train that, and I'm gonna show you how. First of all, you have to go through hypertrophy. Every martial artist, every athlete have to go through it. It's like the foundation of the building. It's very, very crucial. But after you pass that, then you don't want to touch it again, right? Unless if you're new potatoes and you never exercise a day in your life and you decide to join karate club. So now you need some hypertrophy, because I don't care if your sensei tell you if your fighting style can defeat a bigger opponent, like I can use softness to absorb the guy's energies, all of those crap. I don't care. As long as you train martial art, you have to follow physics principle. And if you follow physics principle, you need power, right? And then it's all come from muscle, so you need some hypertrophy. After that, it's not a big concern in a higher level of performance. Because if you look at actors, bodybuilder, they all got six packs, they all got very big, pokey, clean cut muscle, right? But that's just for look, that's just for televisions, right? It's not for function. You know what? I just think of something. I also a YouTuber, maybe I should train to make like a bigger muscle so I can flex in front of the camera. But then if somebody attack me, I cannot defend myself though. I cannot just flex my muscle and the guy run away. Gotta punch him or something, right? If you look at hypertrophy as the foundations, strength training is like every building block, every brick of the tall building, right? Because if your strength is not very strong, you cannot move into power or endurance. Forget about that, right? If you look at, okay, let's say you can lift 200 pounds one time. Then okay, maybe you dream about lifting that multiple times. And that is what happening in a sports setting. Let's say you're wrestling with a guy that weighs 200 pounds. Now you constantly have to move that 200 pounds, right? If you're not strong enough to move that one time, then forget about moving that 200 pounds in like 5 minutes. The same goes for powers. If you cannot lift 200 pounds, then forget about throwing that 200 pounds over your head, right? So strength is a very bare minimum. And in the school, they teach me that for normal person, let's say you want to go into power training, right? You need to squat at least your body weight. Now, this is where the fun comes from, because with just strength alone, you cannot translate it into the sport specific task. A lot of people think that, okay, gymmer punch really hard, right? But that's just a myth. I guarantee you that a gymmer that lifts 300 pounds deadlifts cannot punch as hard as a professional MMA fighters that only lift 150. Why so? Because there are many things alongside with it. You got motor recruitment, you got coordination, you got skills, you got relaxations, right? So many things that happen. And then you also got speed. To create damage, you got mass time velocity, right? So velocity is defined by distance and time. So remember, the time component is very important. So when you train, you want to focus on that. Don't focus on the weight. Anything that less than 60% of your speed is not considered a speed training. Remember that. Now we're gonna go into exercise. How you're gonna tailor your program. If you start from scratch, you want to do some hypertrophy for a couple months. You want to lift around 60%, 70%, or even lower, like 50% for 6 to 8 reps. And then 4 sets for one type of exercise. It could be anything, it doesn't matter. Anything you train gonna give you hypertrophy anyway. But that setting, that reps and set, gonna give you the best results, right? So after you train that for a couple months, remember to move forward, right? Don't try to develop a bigger chest. It doesn't matter in fighting, trust me, right? Once you move on, you want to get into strength training. So now, let's say you're already a little bit experienced, right? You're very skilled with your weight training and stuff, right? You start to feel your muscle and all that. So you do things right. You start to lift as heavy as you could. 1 to 3 reps, right? It's called 1 RM. It means rep maximum. It means that after that 1 RM, you cannot lift the second one. That's very crucial. And then after that, you want to rest for 2 minutes. It is also very important because it takes 2 minutes for the creatine phosphate to recharge. I already talked about that in the energy system video. A very big beginner mistake that I always see is that when I go coaching my student, right? They come in there after they lift 3 RM, right? They rest for 30 seconds. They come back again. Every time I ask them, hey, rest more, they're always like, nah, I don't need that long. I can rest 30 seconds and then I come back to lift more. They think they're so tough, huh? Nah. If you only need to rest 30 seconds and then you can come back and continue the next set, it means your last set is pretty trash. Trust me, you don't train enough. You don't lift heavy enough. You don't force your nervous system. You don't challenge your muscle. If you don't challenge your muscle, how can your muscle grow? Think about it. You have to lift till fatigue and then you rest 2 minutes to recharge and do it again. Very important to gain the best result, right? And then after 6 months, when you get there, you want to specify it even more. So for example, my case, when I shift to train power training, at that time I deadlift and squat around 200 pounds and then I shift to powers. For power training, same protocol, 1 to 3 reps, 2-minute rest. And remember to lift as hard as you can, right? There's something that you can do. You can do Olympic weightlifting, so clean and jerk, snatch, right? The con is that require a lot of skills. It takes me 2 months to just do it with the bar alone before I add some weight in because I want to get the skill right. You make one mistake, you break your back. If you're so afraid of that, then the second alternative you can do is plyometric. Scientific paper already proved that the Olympic weightlifting is the number one. It's gonna improve 5%. Plyometric is the second one, gonna improve you 3%. So it's pretty good. Or you can do things like kettlebell swinging, cable, right? Or you can do like weight throwing. Or even so, you can just do your normal weight training, but you increase your speed with lighter weights. But remember, don't do it too much. That's gonna train your CNS, right? You only want to do it like 2-3 times a week. I only do it like, I kind of do it 3 times a week plus endurance day because damn, they are so addicted. Don't be like me, right? Don't be like me. I'm like a crackhead when it comes to speed. For endurance training, any martial artist need a good heart. And I mean it both metaphor and physically. Well, you need a very good heart adaptation, and that is something that a 10K run will take care of, right? That will gonna give your heart like bigger heart, right? Better stroke volume, right? Better capillaries, so that the blood deliver the oxygen deliver to the muscle better, right? All of that. However, let's say if you run 10K every day, your body is pretty smart. They're gonna put the fuel, the intramuscular glycogen, down on your legs so that your leg muscle can get access to that, right? But if you're a boxer, you use your hand a lot, but then now your fuel is in the leg. It doesn't make sense, right? So remember, running is good, but you need to train something that involves a lot of hand movement. Or you can run, but when you run, you remember to punch. Remember to do saddle box. For me, when I run, I don't really like to, like run and punching, right? So I run separately, and then I do like shadow box, and then I play with the heavy bag, but I treat it more like a cardio workout. So I punch a lot, and I just focus on the techniques and focus on non-stop, right? And these things you need to put in your training zone. So low intensity, moderate intensity, all of that based on lactate threshold and your heart rate and stuff, which I already mentioned in the last video. So if you haven't watched that, remember to do it. And yeah, try your best to specify your training, right? Just take 2 steps back and look at it in terms of a bigger pictures, right? How much endurance do you need, right? Okay, I'm gonna need 3-minute rounds, right? And then I'm gonna take like 30-second rest, and then I'm gonna do another 3-minute rounds, right? Then just try to fit your endurance in that and cut. Go into speed and power development, right? And on the other hand, if you're a self-defense guy just like me, how many speed and power do you need? How much speed can you throw a punch and then the guy cannot stop that? Then cut, then do something else. Maybe put more time into endurance. Maybe put more time in Jizao, for example, right? Don't be obsessed with one thing. Be free. Just like Mr. Miyamoto Musashi, right? He always said about how don't favor your weapons. Always have varieties. Variety is good. Just like Chinese people. It's more vegetable, it's more meat, it's everything. That's gonna do you well. Okay, that already a lot of contents out there, right? And I want you to digest it slowly, effectively. Let me know in the comment, do you like the content? How I'm talking, like too fast, too slow? Is it hard to understand, right? I'll try my best to improve myself for you guys, right? And if you want, you can discuss with me, you can share your knowledge too. I'm always here to learn, right? Share your method, how you train it. Let me know in the comment sections. Let's help build this, clean martial art communities. That's it. And if you love this kind of contents, if you love to learn about training, about martial art, about self-defense, about Wing Chun in general, then hit the subscribe buttons. EZ Wing Chun, gonna see you in the next video. Cheers.